Hey guys, free pick time. All right, back with another free play. So I have a baseball game for you guys today. We picked up yet another winning day in Masterclass yesterday. Now 10 of our last 11 days, which is phenomenal. And we are literally one game away from having an 11-day winning streak, but we'll take 10 out of 11 days anytime. So yesterday got another win in free picks. Seattle getting it done for us pretty handily. Never really a sweat in that game outside of maybe being down 1-0 in the first inning. But by the end of the first, it was 2-1. So we got it done. We got another busy day today. Lots of value out there, guys. I talked about WNBA yesterday, and I said, look, if you guys know what we're doing in WNBA, like, worth the price of admission alone. And I'll tell you, that was our biggest play yesterday at WNBA, and we got that done on a very suspicious game. All right, now look, you have a bunch of people run out and say, calling games fixed and, crooked refs and all this other stuff. And I don't know about all that. But here's the thing. It looked really suspicious. And most of the time when people are shouting fixed and, crooked refs and all this other stuff, right? Why are they doing that? Because they lost, right? They lost. They're upset, find a reason, externalize your blame, all that stuff. Well, we won. Okay. And I'm saying it looked a little fishy. So we'll take it. We went 2-0 in WNBA yesterday. But it was interesting. All right, there was a lot of work by the refs to get that game to go over, and it did. So, anyways, we'll take it. Baseball again, just rocking and rolling, got it done. So we had a big day, top to bottom, and I want to talk about something quickly here, guys. So, let's flash back 1941. Okay, there's a baseball player from California, and 20-game run, and he's just doing terribly, okay? He's batting 197 over 20 games. Newspapers posting articles calling, for them to bench him, fans booing him, etc., etc. And, I mean, it's challenging, I think, for a professional athlete that's going out there trying every single game to be put under that kind of pressure, read these articles when he wakes up in the newspaper, especially in 1941. I mean, that's what you did. You read the newspaper, right? There wasn't much else going on. And outside of that, to have your own fans boo you, well, there was no reason out there to expect anything was going to change on May 15th, 1941, when he went to Chicago to play a game. But something did. Okay, he made contact with the ball off White Sox pitchers Eddie Smith, and he managed to get a single. All right, nothing special about it, he got a single. What was special about that single is it started something over the next 2-month period. And that was when Joe DiMaggio went on to hit 55 more games after that to finish a streak that'll probably never be beaten in sports of 56 straight games. Okay? This came out of the mediocrity, the low point of his career at that point, over a 20-game span, barely able to make contact with a ball, newspapers writing negative articles, fans booing, all these kinds of things, and he was able to focus himself and get himself pointed in the right direction. Now, is this the first time you've heard about the slump before DiMaggio's great run? For many of you, it probably is. Why? Because history remembers greatness and does a fantastic job of blurring mediocrity. All right. And certainly you could say batting 190 or 197 or whatever over 20-game period is pretty mediocre at best. All right. But history doesn't remember that stuff. And we'll look back at Joe DiMaggio as a legend of baseball. It will always be a name spoken in bars and spoken in ballparks because he is a legend. All right. And this is the point that I think I need to drive home about sports betting, that there's so many great sports bettors out there that people just don't give the chance to, okay? And I see this, I posted a video on my Instagram about, a fellow TikToker and guy who, has given out some pretty fantastic picks over the last little while. And I was just appalled to read, some of the comments and stuff on, the negativity, like one bad day. Literally, that's all it took was one bad day, right? The one thing that I tell people about Masterclass, and this is a guarantee, okay? This is the only guarantee that I'll give out in Masterclass because I'm never going to guarantee that we're going to have a winning day. I'm never going to guarantee we're going to have, a winning week. I'm never going to do that. I'll guarantee you this. Next year, we will have a losing month. Okay? This year, losing month. Year before, losing month. Year before, year before, year before. And every year of my career, you will have a losing month. And anyone that tells you they've never had a losing month is a straight up liar. Has people gone maybe an entire year without a losing month? Possibly. I don't think Billy Walters ever did. But again, the man never lost a year. All right? And that is the important thing, guys, that you focus on the long term. Okay? The people that were booing Mr. DiMaggio and the people writing negative articles, I'm sure felt pretty stupid afterwards, right? But at the end of the day, if you take a long-term approach and a long-term view to these things, you are going to do so much better, okay? Now, at the end of the day, you're going to have losing weeks, losing days, and yes, losing months in sports betting. But when you zoom out and you look at the long-term picture, guys, you make a lot of money, okay? How many people said, yeah, you know what, going sideways, down, up, left, right, every direction, but, straight up? How many people said, you know what, forget it, I don't want to follow Bender? Now we won 10 of 11 days. How many people in free picks said, this Bender guy lost 2 picks in a row, back then. I don't want to follow him. What a joke, right? And then we won 10 in a row. You guys remember that? Before that, 11 in a row. And then earlier this year, 9 in a row here on free picks, okay? Very publicly done this stuff. But again, this only works for you if you're willing to take a long-term approach, okay? The final example I will give is in the stock market, all right? For a lot of people, the period of 2007 through to 2009 was nothing short of a complete and total disaster. It really, really felt like the world was going to come to an end. At one point, Citibank stock was trading for $1 a share, and there was no sentiment in the market other than panic, okay? And when panic sets in, people do crazy things. The real trick of these situations is to just keep a level head, okay? To keep an even keel and to think, okay? That's why you have this, not to panic, to think, all right? Now, that was life-changing for a lot of people. It was chaotic. It was one of the biggest implosions of the stock market that you could ever think of. Zoom out, okay? Look at a chart, okay? Look at a 25 or 30-year chart and look at what those years look like. And you know what they look like? Little tiny blips, okay? When you're sitting in it, when you're up close, it's everything. It's the entire world, okay? Think of like some of the problems you've had in your life. It's, oh my God, when you're dealing with it, it's the only thing on earth, right? When you zoom out, when you look back on some problems you had to deal with 5 years ago, when you look back on the performance of a stock market a decade ago, when you do these things, guys, at the end of the day, when you zoom out, the problems are insignificant. And if you just slow down and embrace the fact that time heals all wounds, okay? Then you are set to make a lot more money in life. All right. Today's play, guys, if you're still watching or haven't fast forwarded through that. If you fast forward, I feel like you missed something today. But anyways, to each his own. We're going to go with Phillies. First 5 innings, minus 128. So Phillies, first 5 innings, minus 128. Let me break it down for you guys. I got the Phillies winning the first 5 innings 57% of the time. So better than 50% of the time, they're going to win that. 30% of the time, they will lose. And 13% of the time, they're going to tie. Now, I've done this math for you guys before, but a real quick breakdown here. The 13% doesn't matter to us. We get a refund, we get our money back, c'est la vie, life goes on. So really, the only thing that matters is the 57% we win, the 30% we lose. So that's 87% of the time there will be a result, either negative or positive. If we will win 57% out of the 87% of time where there is a result, that means the true win percentage out of that will be 65.51%, or a true line of minus 190, okay? If the true line should be minus 190 and we're paying minus 128, that difference in between, my friends, is value. I have this game capped as the Phils being a 0.9 to a 1.1 run favorite in just the first 5 innings. Now, that would be a big edge if we're the entire game. But we're talking about just the first 5 innings. So that is value, guys. Again, I always urge people, take a long-term approach to sports betting. We've won 10 of our last 11 days. BenderWins.com for the full card, by the way. It doesn't mean that there won't be another slump and there won't be another upsurge down the road. It is all about the long term. Best of luck.